Hello Scaredy Cats, it's me, Scaredy Matt. This video is about jump scares and I'm just gonna let you know right off the top, there's gonna be a jump scare in it. Now don't panic, it's not gonna be for the first couple minutes. If you don't want this to happen to you, if you want to avoid it or find the time code so that you can anticipate it, check the pinned comment below this video to find out when it happens. But if you think you can handle it, I would encourage you to experience it because I'm trying to go for something with this video. And that's part of the thing I'm trying to do with it is I want you to see it. I want it to happen to you to illustrate my point. So that's this. There's a jump scare in it. Keep that in mind, that you will experience a frightening jump scare at some point in this video. I want to talk about jump scares and why I've come to appreciate what they do. But they're annoying, right? It's just such a shitty feeling. It's so easy to do. It's almost like the movie thinks it's tricking you, but really, there was just a loud noise. It startled you. It's not scary. It's just startling. I hate that feeling, and I'm sure most of you do too. Ask anyone what they dislike about horror movies, and if they don't just answer, I don't know, I don't like them, I don't like to be scared, they'll usually say jump scares. People will insist that movies these days have nothing but jump scares. No real substance, no atmosphere or scares like they used to. I must admit, I kind of feel this way sometimes when people talk to me about movies like Insidious or The Nun or any movie in the Conjuring universe. To me, those movies are what I like to call spooky face movies, because the thing that scares you is always just a spooky face popping out and going booga booga. That's not fun for me. I don't understand why these movies are so popular. It's not scary. They're not even effective jump scares. It's just every time, spooky face, booga booga. Ooh. Begrudgingly, I must admit, jump scares do two very useful things in horror movies, and they don't get the credit for it. Now I hear you. What? Come on, it's not scary. There's nothing scary about it. It's just startling. You just said that. You're going back on your word. How can we ever trust you again? There was just a loud noise. It startled you. It's not scary. It's just startling. While jump scares themselves are not scary, they can sometimes make the media they're in scarier. I'll give you an example of what I mean, but I'll edit it so it's not a jump scare, because I don't want to take away from the punch of the jump scare that I have to remind you is coming in this video. In this scene from The Thing, they're testing each person's blood. And this is probably my favorite jump scare in movie history, because no matter how many times I watch it, I have no idea when it's coming. I always forget which guy is the Thing and how many tests are done before it's Thing o'clock, baby! That's one way that jump scares make a movie scarier. The anticipation. Waiting for something that you know is coming, but the movie makes you wait for. It just gets the cortisol flowing, doesn't it? It stresses you out and leaves you feeling off kilter. Maybe not consciously, but it's hard to switch emotional states. Harder than you might realize. So that feeling of tension lingers for a while. You know a scare is coming. Like you know one is coming in this video. And it's uncomfortable. But it's not just in the anticipation. A jump scare can truly come out of nowhere. Right in the middle of a sentence, when you least expect it. Take this scare from The Ring. Just a quick flash of a dead body with a spooky face that's not telegraphed at all. It just hits you so fast and you're not expecting it. You have no time to prepare for that. And that removes a sense of safety you usually have during a movie. Usually, you know when the scare is coming. There's a tense scene leading up to it. The tone shifts. All of a sudden, you're on edge during the whole movie because you know at any moment, this could happen again. There's no space to relax. There's no break from the tension. It might not last the whole 90 minutes or more of runtime, but it can definitely help put you in the right headspace. Now, during the jump scare, you might not like it while it's happening. You might be annoyed, but sometimes it helps to heighten the power of the work it is within. And that asks an interesting question. When is the trade-off between annoying your audience temporarily to make them enjoy your movie as a whole worth it? Assuming, of course, that the movie is made to be entertaining, just for the sake of argument, because there's a lot of reasons to make a movie and art doesn't have to be entertaining to be valuable, blah, blah, blah. Let's just put that aside for a moment, everybody. If a jump scare will make a movie better in the long run, but piss you off in the moment, isn't that for the better? I mean, don't you want to watch a better, more effective movie? A movie that gives you a more genuine emotion? But on the other hand, how much discomfort are you really willing to experience just to make a work of art land harder on you? Too much, and you've alienated your audience. Too little, and you've made something without teeth. And worse, nothing is lamer than a jump scare that doesn't work. When a movie tries to startle you and doesn't. The more movies you watch, the more accustomed you get to the types of misdirection that filmmakers use to make jump scares startle you. Character is looking in one direction, scary thing is in other direction. Character thinks they are safe, scary thing is not dead yet. Mirror is pointed away, but now scary thing is behind person. Oh no, I'm looking for scary thing. That's not scary thing, it is cat. You build up a tolerance to this type of cinematic language, and over time, like a drug, it loses its potency. I think that's why people who watch a lot of horror movies tend to think there's an over-reliance on jump scares now as opposed to some golden age in the past when movies were above that type of garbage. I mean, there's a jump scare in James Whale's Frankenstein. It doesn't read to us as one anymore because the jump scares we have today are so much more effective, but in audiences in the 30s, this was a jump scare. I don't think it's true that there are more jump scares now. I just think they stick out because we're all used to them and they fall flat. It's like a joke. First time you hear it, it's hilarious. My wife. The next time you hear it, it's like, huh, right. Borat. Yeah, right. Third time you hear it, it's like, stop saying that. It's a dead meme. There are only so many ways to startle people. And it gets harder as time goes on because people get more and more used to all of your tricks. Luckily though, jump scares don't just make movies scarier. They also serve another extremely important function in horror movies. How scary do you really want a movie to be, honestly? Do you want to have trouble sleeping because you're so scared? Probably most of the people watching this video are like, yeah, totally, that sounds dope actually. Because horror fans tend to like feeling scared by a movie. That's why we like the spooky pictures. But I don't know if that's true of general audiences. When the average moviegoer goes to see a horror film, they want it to be something within their limits. Something that will entertain them, but not leave them lying awake wondering when the Babadook is gonna come and do what the Babadook does. Everybody likes to put on a front that they want to watch the scariest movie ever. They want to wet their pants and cry for their mommies. It's like hot sauce. Everyone will pretend they can handle more than they can, partially out of pride, but partially because it's fun to challenge yourself a little. But for most non-horror fans, there is always a background anxiety of, oh shit, will this be too scary for me? If you've ever tried to convince someone who doesn't like horror movies to go see a movie you know won't be that scary, you know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, actually, Ronnie, I think you'll be able to power through Zombieland, my dude. I don't think it's gonna scare you that bad. The demo most of these movies is going for, that's teens. And teens can't handle anything too scary because their little teen brains aren't done yet. They think they can handle anything, but they're teens. They don't know that they have to wash their feet in the shower. If a movie is too scary, it's going to be a problem. It's not going to be fun for them. So what do you do if your movie has built up a bunch of tension and you want to make sure your audience will be able to handle it? Release the tension. I've said many times in this video that I'm going to do a jump scare, and I've done it with this coy little shit-eating grin on my face. It's insufferable, isn't it? That feeling of knowing the other shoe could drop at any moment. And here I am lording it over you. If I just did it, if I just got it over with, you could watch the rest of the video in peace. Here's the thing though, there's not going to be a jump scare in this video. I lied to you. I was being shitty about it on purpose to drive home this point. Sometimes a jump scare would be a relief. Sometimes it helps calm you down. And I think, in a way, that explains the appeals of movies like Insidious or the Conjuring universe films that I complained about earlier. It's not that they're not scary, they're just a type of scary I've aged out of and no longer recognize as scary. They're a gentler form of scary, something that lets you dip your toes in the water a little bit, but always leaves you with a feeling of conclusion and no lingering dread. You see, my nerve endings are fried from years of constantly escalating the scariness in my movies that have left me unable to feel the normal scariness of a movie. Not because I'm tougher or braver or whatever shit like that, because I'm not. But because I'm so used to the ways that those movies scare people from decades of exposure that it doesn't work as well on me anymore as it used to. These movies serve the same function for kids nowadays that slasher movies served for people my age when we weren't decrepit living mummies. When we had an iota of vitality in our now creaking, withered bones. A genre that most people who were my age at the time thought was pointless, nothing but violence for violence's sake. Something easy to dismiss as a cheap thrill, low art. Feel a little superior that kids these days think this shit passes for horror. Younger people still have distilled this formula into nothing but jump scares. Look at the Five Nights at Freddy's games. The whole point of the game is to get jump scares. The fun of it is when you lose the game, a spooky face pops up and spookifies you. That's all it is. And it's a little oversaturated now, but Zoomers went nuts over this shit like 5 years ago. I don't know why, because once again, I am a bog man whose heart stopped beating before the fall of Rome, but the youngs sometimes whisper things above my tomb, and I can glean it is something that they like. It's precisely because jump scares are startling and not scary that they're useful. Because for people without a tolerance for or a taste for real scares, it lets you gradually become accustomed to the somewhat antagonistic relationship of trying to resist the fear that a movie is trying to instill in you. They allow a much broader contingent of people to enjoy that feeling, or crucially, to discover that they enjoy that feeling. And eventually, they'll find it harder to get that feeling from most horror and have to seek out scarier stuff to bring it back. And that's what leads them to more substantial movies. The ones with atmosphere, the ones with real scares. The ones that keep you up at night. The ones snobs like me like. Some people might not. They might find that they're comfortable with the occasional jump scare. Not so much being more scared than that, though. That's too much. And as someone that loves horror movies, I want them to have something suited to their tastes, even if it doesn't suit mine. Maybe to them, Frank's Red Hot is the hottest hot sauce they're willing to eat. But I want to shove ghost peppers directly into my eyes just to feel alive one more time in this new confusing world that my ancient and weary mind is trying desperately to make sense of. Maybe one day you'll find me in a dirty alley, overdosing from trying to freebase Cholula. But we both like hot sauce, and it's good for us to have that in common. And if we both get the same pleasure out of it, if we both reach the plateau of what spiciness we can handle, who's to say which is spicier? Now, spiciness is an incomplete analogy because spiciness is measurable. Scariness is subjective. I find something like The Vivitch or Hereditary scarier than Insidious. But a lot of people are going to find those movies I like real boring and not scary at all. Some people need the jump scares to keep their attention because they can't or don't want to emotionally invest in a movie's atmosphere. Someone like that won't be affected by anything but a loud noise or a spooky face. And I'm glad that they have that. Whether these jump scare heavy movies are stepping stones into something else or not, jump scares help make some people enjoy horror movies that might otherwise find them inaccessible. Just like they might also alienate others who do not want jump scares, but still want to be scared. Let me be clear, I'm very aware that for a lot of people, especially those with trauma, jump scares can be something they just absolutely will not fuck with. And that's valid and normal. No one should criticize people for that, and if you do, that sucks. But there's a place for jump scares. There's an audience for them, even if that audience will swear up and down that they hate them. Now it's time for a jump scare. Boo, it's me, Dracula! Hey everybody, thanks for watching my video. I hope your heart has stopped racing by now. If it has, please press the like button. And also subscribe to me here, and check out all of the other videos here at Scaredy Cats on YouTube, like the Wishmaster videos I just did. Those are fun. Go watch those. I'll wait.